needless to say, the weather wasn't with us. And of course now the weather's pretty nice outside, but we didn't want to take a chance. I welcome you to the Knox promotional ceremonies. And at this time I would like to start presenting the awards for the following award winners. Our Perfect Attendance Award. For 2 years of perfect attendance, with no case of either tardiness or absence, Scott Boyle. Now the next Perfect Attendance Award is very unusual. This young man has not missed a day since 3rd grade. And also, we are looking into the records that there's a possibility he hasn't missed a day since kindergarten. In any case, I'd like to welcome and congratulate Eric Douglas. The following students have 1 year of perfect attendance. Mike Dingman. Mark King. Melissa Orr. And Anthony Sakia. Our next award is the Music Director's Award for Vocal Music. The Music Director's Award goes to a student who has been a member of the Troubadours for 1 full year, participated in Fulton County Music Festival, demonstrated solo ability, and who has made significant progress as a musician. This student will receive a trophy and have their name placed on a plaque outside the main office here at Knox. This year's recipient is Michelle Ropier. Music Director's Award for Instrumental Music. To obtain the Director's Award for Band, a student must exhibit the following qualities to the highest degree: leadership among fellow students, responsibility, maturity, and willingness to work. This year's recipient, who is unable to make it due to an unfortunate death in the family, is Heather Greenbrier. Award is the Art Award. Each year, many talented students showing outstanding ability in the field of visual arts. Needless to say, many of these students deserve awards. Mr. Harrison has selected 2 students this year who will receive a certificate of merit and a cash award upon leaving Knox. This year's recipients are Mary Easterly and Krista Foley. Our next awards are letters of commendation. This award is presented to those students who have been named to all 4 90% or better honor rolls during the school year. Ricky Boletto. Scott Boyle. Jeff Bradley. Chris Corbett. Mike Dingman. Father predicted that. Heather Greenrod. Pete Dutras. Michelle Ropeter. Christina Rich. Dean Rossman. Joe Ruggieri. Jennifer Skoda. And Max Sweden. Due to my rush, I left one person out, Mike Orlowski. Our next award is the American Legion Award. This is given out by the American Legion chapter here in Johnstown. It's a Special Achievement Award, a certificate, and a $5 award. Goes to Heather O'Connor and Tom Russo. Our next award is the Betty Green Award. This goes to the 8th grader with the highest final average in algebra. This award of $5 is presented to Pete Jutras. The next award is the Milton E. Zollner Award, presented for the excellence in physical education, based on sportsmanship, participation in a variety of activities, and class average. This award is presented by the Knox Junior High School Student Council. Winners of the $5 awards are David Savage and Becky Rosano. Next award is the Marjorie Lucas Award, given in recognition of a student who excels in the ability to relate to others with kindness, maturity, respect, and understanding. The award of $10 is presented to Mike Orlowski. The Principal's Prize goes to the 8th grade students who have attained the highest academic averages. An award of $10 for the highest average and $5 for the second highest average. This year's highest average with 96.5 goes to Jennifer Skoda.
Atta girl, Jennifer.
The second highest average is a tie. Very unusual, but both students had exactly the same average. 96.0, Christopher Corbin, Pete Dutras. The Walter E. Short Award, presented to the 8th grade student who has been a vital part of Knox Junior High School for the past 2 years. Participating enthusiastically in school events, activities, leading and motivating other students to a positive action, and generally serving as a fine example of the type of Knox Junior High student strives to promote. The award of $10, given by Mrs. Irene Beauvais, is presented to Ann Pop. Albert Jewell Award. From candidates selected by the homeroom teachers, the faculty has selected, on the basis of wholesome attitude, cooperation, courtesy, and industry, the following students. Ann Bartholomew and Brad Colvin, each will receive an award of $5 presented by the Knox Junior High School faculty. The Robert Dawson Award. From candidates selected by a vote of their fellow students, the faculty has selected, on the basis of scholarship, industry, responsibility, and respect for others, the following students. Michelle Ropeter and Heather Grinrod. Each student will receive an award of $5 presented by the Knox Junior High School student. Historical Society Award to the student with the highest average in social studies. This award of $10 is presented to Pete Dutras. The next part of our program are speeches by the Dawson and Jewell Award winners. Speaking on leadership, Ann Bartholomew.
Leadership, what is it? According to Webster's dictionary, it is the ability to lead. But what does that mean? Lead means to show the way or to direct the course of by going before or along with. Leaders have been around since the beginning of time, from the caveman who discovered the fire to the 6 astronauts and 1 teacher who died in the Challenger disaster on January 28, 1986. These people were all leaders. Yes, you and I probably think of one of these people when we hear the word leader. But they are not the only leaders. You and I, and everyone here tonight, is a leader in his or her own way. We may not realize it, but we are. Our parents, our grandparents, the firemen, the policemen, the farmer, and yes, even the teachers are all leaders. What does a leader have to do to be a leader? The leader doesn't have to do something drastic for him to be a leader. A leader can be the guy who gets the crowd to keep cheering for the home team, even when they are losing by 20 points. The leader may be one of the players on that losing team, who keeps the team from giving up. A leader is a person who, when everything is going wrong, brings a smile to your face by telling you a stupid joke or story. Now each of us is asking, what do I have to do to be a leader? A poem entitled Impressions seems to give a clue to how to become a leader. The poem doesn't tell you how to be a leader, but it tells you how to make yourself a better person, which is a very important quality needed to be a leader. Impressions. Sometimes I just wonder how the world would be if people were themselves instead of trying to impress those they see. If people were themselves and not always putting on an act, we would see their natural qualities and like them, that's a fact. But it's not all that simple, or what others will think. Life's just a big popularity game where you either float or sink. If you are a fake, you have no friends that are true. You put on an image that's not really you. So next time you want to be something that you are not, just to be popular, be sure to give it a thought. It's better to be yourself. Each one of us is unique. But if your friends are real, well, that's your goal to seek. To be a leader, each of us must be himself and not be afraid to be unique. If each of us strives to be the best that he can be, then each of us will be a leader and meet success in the next 4 years at Johnstown High School and throughout the rest of our lives.
Speaking on responsibility, Michelle Rowe-Peter.
Responsibility is the quality of being reliable or trustworthy. Through 7th and 8th grade, we all have assumed many responsibilities. We will have even more responsibilities as we go on to the high school. In the last 2 years, we have had responsibilities to our school, our family, and our friends. We've come to school every day, dressed properly and ready to work. We've done our homework assignments, at least most of us anyway. We have spent a countless number of hours in the library, working on English projects we've had, and we've spent many more enjoyable hours learning about current world issues for social studies. We have played various sports and gym classes, and most of us have learned a foreign language. We've participated in school sports and activities. We've been loyal to our groups, and we've done our best for the school. At the same time, we have had responsibilities at home. These responsibilities may have been watching younger brothers and sisters or doing simple household chores. You may not have realized it before, but we also have a responsibility to our friends. To be a true and loyal friend, we must keep confidence and always be there for a friend. Also, when we know a friend is doing something very wrong, it is our responsibility to do something for them. Sometimes, when we do what we have to do, we are not very well liked. But this is a part of growing up. Accepting our responsibilities and doing what we have to do is also a part of growing up. Learning to be responsible can pull each of us towards our goals. Even if we are unsuccessful in the things we do, it is our responsibility to go on trying. It is the responsibilities that we will have that will help us to become what we want to be. Winston Churchill once said, "Don't take no for an answer and never submit to failure." By continuing to try and by accepting our responsibilities, we will not fail. We will meet success and will be Johnstown High School's graduating class of 1990.
Although Heather Greenrod is unable to make it, her speech on respect will be given by Ann Bartholomew.
We have often heard Rodney Dangerfield say, "I don't get no respect." He means people don't hold him in high esteem. What do people have to do to be worthy of respect? Maybe they have to be someone famous. We respect the baseball player who gets a hit every time he's up to bat. Or we respect the world-renowned singer who had to overcome poverty or even blindness. We also respect famous leaders like President Reagan, who was our oldest president and still going strong. But do people have to be famous to earn our respect? No, of course not. I respect people in Johnstown who are hardly world famous. I think each of us has a number of people we respect for a variety of reasons. These people might have found and helped you when you were down, or they might have always been there for you when you needed them. Whatever the reason is, you respect them for loving you, helping you, supporting you, and respecting you. I respect my parents for the way they've helped me become my own person. I also respect our teachers who spend all day at school teaching us what is important to them, and then make extracurricular activities possible for us. As manager of the Johnstown field hockey team, I had a lot of time to observe one teacher in particular, Mr. Wiltie. Coach Wiltie has a unique ability. He can draw a person out of you that you don't even know is there. By doing this, he helps you develop a respect for yourself. I have a neighbor who with his wife owns and runs a diner. Nothing unusual yet, until you find out this man, who looks about 55, is really 17. He and his wife both have an enthusiasm for life that is unbelievable. He does not keep this enthusiasm locked in. He shares it with everyone he comes into contact with. And because of his enthusiasm, he respects people, and people respect him. People often do things to earn respect without even knowing it. Let's say that you have 5 really close friends that come to you when they are feeling down. They must respect you a lot, so they keep coming to you for help. So if you ever feel like Rodney Dangerfield and you say to yourself, I don't get no respect, step back and look at yourself. You will be surprised at the number of things you do that are worthy of respect.
Speaking on scholarship, Brad Kaufman.
Webster gives many meanings for the word scholarship. The most common meaning is a grant in aid given to a student to go to college. Some other meanings are characteristics, qualities, or attainments of a scholar, and learning derived from the study of books. The word scholarship is derived from the root word scholar, which means to be a student or to acquire knowledge. Thus, a scholar would be someone who, through study, has acquired knowledge and skill. But is there not more? All the knowledge and skills learned by the scholar are of no value if he or she does not use them. Reading the world's greatest books is not enough. We must read them and understand what values man has struggled for. The scholar must interpret intelligently what he reads, hears, and sees. Also, in order to become economically self-sufficient, a scholar must learn the skills of the occupation he chooses and apply those skills. A national leader once said, these are the marks of a scholar. 1. Knowledge, intelligence, reason, imagination, and the gift of expression. 2. Social awareness and a sense of social responsibility. 3. Humility in the presence of the unknown. And above all, 4. A deep desire not only to discover the facts, but to find the truth that makes men truly free. As future citizens, we should learn enough about the world and how it works to make our world a better place to live. If we, as individuals, cannot get along with others, how can we truly succeed next year in the high school and in our future? To accomplish these goals, we must study hard and work even harder next year at the high school and also in the years to come. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce now the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. John McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Eppolito. Parents, members of the faculty, friends of the students, and members of the Johnstown High School class of 1990. Tonight is a night to look forward, and it is a night to look back. Just 2 years ago, you came together as a class from the 4 neighborhood elementary schools. You've gone through 2 years of learning grammar from Mr. Beck, of math facts with Mr. Ranieri, baseball with Mr. Purcell, of getting passes from Mrs. Beauvais and Mrs. Culver, of listening to Prince and Madonna and Whitney Houston, and hopefully there are no deadheads here tonight. Of the Knights Chronicle, the Knox Band, basketball. And the thing that unites us as a school district and unites Knox and Johnstown High School, to which you'll be moving on after tonight, is the tradition of the Johnstown School District. And that is where we look ahead tonight to the 4 years of high school. You'll be confronted with the requirements, the academic requirements newly imposed in the Regents Action Plan. And They are very stiff requirements, but I have every confidence. And I was reassured tonight in hearing the student speeches. I'd like to personally commend the speakers. I think both in terms of the thought expressed, the content, and the delivery, that we have every reason to be reassured about the young men and women who are going on to Johnstown High School from the Knox Junior High. I think they were 4 of the best student speeches I've heard in about 9 years here of listening to these speeches. So you'll be facing the action plan, and I would suggest that one thing to do is to read, and read, and read some more. To take some time to enjoy life at the high school, participate in those extracurriculars, on the Baronet and the Bugle, as you have on the Knights Chronicle, in the athletic programs, in the music programs, and dramatics, and the other extracurriculars we have at the high school. Take some time to smell the roses. One of the things, too, that the students spoke about tonight was to respect each other. And I hope that this class will continue to do just that. I see much evidence of that. And I think that's very important. Adolescence is a very difficult time of life. You need all the confidence you get. Give your fellow students a pat on the back once in a while. Enjoy the next 4 years. Good luck. Thank you.
Okay, the next part of our program is the presentation of our promotion certificates. And I will be calling each class to the stage, and Dr. McNamara will be handing out the certificates. All right, room 12. Charles Ackenbauer. Keith Ackernight. Mike Adair. Chris Adams. Ann Bartholomew. Christy Berger. David Vila. Dan Blakesley. Ricky Valletto. Scott Boyle. Jeff Bradley. Marvin Brott. Kevin Brayton. Stacy Callery. Nancy Cannon. Ron Chamberlain. And Richard Charles. Room 100. Brad Calvin. Rod Cooper. Chris Corbett. Andrew Frankshaw. Peter Chahowitz. Matthew Day. Darcy Denny. Marie Denmark. Rebecca Denmark. Randy Dietrich. Becky DeMarco. Cherie Dusler. Tricia Dusler. Mike Durkee. James Dustin. Michelle Dwyer. Mary Easterly. And Clay Ernst. Room 101. Brett Etherton. Alexander Evans. Krista Foley. Charles Fridley. Chris Fox. Krista Gall. Aaron Grady. Chris Branshaw. Chris Grant. Kim Hale. Grace Candy. James Handy. Jill Hart. Eric Hayes. Tim Hayward. Tiffany Henderson. Robin Henry. Tiffany Hill. Veronica Hill. And Jennifer Hayden. Room 107. Amayinati. Heather Johnson. Victoria Johnson. Peter Dutrus. Christy Kilmartin. Mark King. Kyle Kanowski. Ted Kohicki. Jolene Lake. Chris Leflier. Margaret Lewis. Richard Lewis. Adele Locatelli. Christy Manrick. Peter Major. William Martell. Robert Martish. Roxanne May. Jennifer Maynard. And Robert McClellan. Room 114. Brian McKenny. Eric Vinod. Shelley Morrison. Troy Mosconi. Rachel Bowery. Steve Mraz. Jason Mylott. Krista Nethaway. Melissa Orr. Heather O'Connor. Mike Orlowski. Ron Pedrick. Tom Pettit. William Pierce. Ann Pop. Stuart Powers. Arietta Ceramatis. Joe Panetta. Rebecca Rosano. Ryan Recesso. Room 209. Christina Rich. Jennifer Riley. Christine Riska. Mike Rogers. Michelle Ropeter. Dan Rossman. Joe Ruggieri. Tom Russo. Patrick Ryan. John Sable. Don Satterley. David Savage. Tammy Scott. Matt Shamble. Jean Ann Sherman. Christine Simic. Richard Simic. Randy Seibert. Jennifer Skoda. Joe Slavic. Room 304. Megan Smith. Roberta Stearns. Chris Stefik. Chad Stewart. Mike Stewart. Helen Cernier. Max Sweden. Eric Sweeney. Tammy Sweetman. Anthony Sakia. Barbara Tagliatella. I practiced that one. Jennifer Trolanek. Aaron Valkovic. Christy Valek. Beth Van Arnhem. Belinda Van Hosen. Michelle Van Valkenburg. Carol Vetter. Mike Walsh. Michelle Ward. Doneen Warner. Larry Weisner. Mike Wilbur. And Pilar Zinter. At the present time, would the 8th grade band members please come to the stage? Before the program comes to a conclusion, a few remarks that I would like to make to the 8th graders. As you know, in the last 2 years, you have gone from being immature 6th graders coming into 7th grade, being in school the roughest 2 years of your life, and now you are on the verge of going on to adulthood. It's going to be tough. Nobody said it was going to be easy. It's been tough on your parents, especially for those parents whose first child is now going on to 9th grade. Where has the time gone? For those of you who have had children go through Knox already, This might be your last one, and you're saying, it's my baby, what's going to happen now? There are a lot of responsibilities that you will have when you go to high school. And I'm going to be point blank. You're going to be faced with going to parties. You're going to be faced with going to friends' houses and being influenced by drugs and alcohol. You're going to be influenced by your friends about maybe cutting classes or not going out for a sport which you want to go out for, but it's not cool. You have some decisions to make. Each and every one of you are an individual. And being individuals, you're going to have to start thinking on your own and not going with the crowd. For parents, the next 4 years are going to be even tougher than the last 2. Where are your children going to be on the weekends? Are you going to know where they are? That's the tough thing. Oh, I'm going to so-and-so's house. And then you find out they aren't there. Or there's a school dance, and they don't go to the school dance. How do you deal with that? It's the toughest thing you're going to have to deal with. And my advice, and I don't have all the answers, is communication. If you and your child can't sit down and talk truthfully and honestly with each other about the trials and tribulations that they are going to face when they go to high school, then that's where the breakdown is going to be. You can go to counseling, you can seek the school's help, you can go to the guidance counselor, you can go to your parish priest or reverend, but it boils down to the communication between you and your children. And I don't have to quote the statistics. 8th graders who've heard it in health class, you've read the news supplement and the Leader Herald. The 2 most important things in our area that we have to deal with are drugs and alcohol. There's no way to get around it. My main concern is that you make the right choice. That when you make that choice, if you are worried about it being the right choice, that you seek an adult for advice. Nobody will have the right answer, but the more you talk about it, the more you discuss it, the more open you are, the better off you will be. And if you have friends or know of other students who are in that position, ask them if they want help. Stand by their side. It's the hardest thing to do, to be a friend, and then try to find out if you can help that person. So when you go on to 9th grade, you'll be at the bottom of the totem pole now. You're going to have a lot of pressure on you because you are the underclassman. Don't try to be a senior. It doesn't work. Be careful. Be careful who you go with, who you ride in the car with, who you go to a dance with, and unfortunately in this last week, how you cross the street. Anything can happen. You have to be on your guard. Each and every one of you, I wish I had gotten to know a little bit more. Some got to know me more than others. Some names I learned tonight, folks, because I never see them except maybe in the band or the chorus or walking the halls once in a while. That's unfortunate. But in any case, I will miss this class. They kept me hopping this year. I have a few more gray hair on my head to prove it. But anytime you want to come back and visit, you're welcome at any time after 3 o'clock. On a serious note, however, in Heather Greenrod's speech, she mentioned Coach Wiltie. And under unfortunate circumstances, Coach Wiltie's mother was killed in a car accident tonight. So I would like to have just a moment of silence for that. Thank you. WGLV is filming this promotion exercise, and I believe we'll have this on the cable channel next week or the following week. keep your local listings or call the radio station. This is the first time and hopefully won't be the last time. Also, after the promotion exercises are over, all the parents and friends and graduates are invited down to the cafeteria for some refreshments. I know some of you have to go to baccalaureate tonight, but if you can stop in for a few minutes down in the cafeteria, you're welcome. At the present time, I would like to welcome and congratulate the Knox class of 1986.
WGLV-TV would like to congratulate all of the graduates in the Fulton County area. And we, along with our sponsors, TV.
It's a time for
back off the rail. 20 of them.
Great
boys and no